Yo, you guys are black, right?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know if I can ask.
Happy Black History Month. To all
Oh,
of you.
thanks, brother. I just watched Black
You
Panther
guys are
this
black,
morning.
right?
Don't worry. I'm something of a nigga myself.
I love the Herb's first Black History Month tweet.
And I just recorded this real quick.
It's quarantine time!
Here we are, the podcast heroes, discuss Toku like never before. Legion, go Legion of Boo, go Legion of Boo, go Legion of Boo, go, 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 fly, go Legion of Boo, go Legion of Boo, go Legion of Boo, Legion of Boo!
Welcome to the Legion of Boom podcast. This is Genga Herb and the homies.
It's your boy Zeo Blue 3, aka Roll of a Queen.
Yo, it is South Asian Rusol Red. Rusol, you're out.
See, I got himself. Anti-rush.
Hey.
And I want to die.
No.
No, we don't promote suicide on the Legion of Boom podcast.
No.
Shut up.
We're positive.
That's right.
Speaking of positive, we're not going to talk about a good comic first. Let's talk about Beyond the Grid.
Yeah.
Talk about a big pack.
Yeah.
Pack.
Yeah.
Man, all right.
Okay, so we
Podcast.
talked about 31 already. Let's skip that.
Yeah.
Do 32. Hey, dang, what happened to 32?
I don't even remember what we talked about. I forget what we talked about last for Beyond the Grid.
Okay, we talked about the first issue, so we know that they own Terra Venture or Prometheus, and they big sad.
Right.
And then that's established. And okay, so in the next one, 32 is when they met the Solar Ranger and she unmasked herself,
Mm-hmm.
and they found out her name's Alarian,
And she's
if that's how you pronounce it.
And she's a
She's
black
an
alien.
alien.
She's a melanin alien.
That's pretty raw.
Goat. That's representation
Yeah.
right there.
Shout outs to God. And then
She's also an alien. So.
yeah, she's also she got like a little alien homie with her. Like
She
Oh
does.
yeah, the bartender. Yeah.
Weren't they hanging out on-
Finally, another alien bar that's not Onyx in Power Rangers.
Right?
I'm glad you remember because I was going to ask, like, ain't it like Planet Onyx they was hanging out on? So I'm glad it wasn't.
No, some like asteroid or something like that. They were on.
Yeah, do some do some universe expansion.
Yeah, man.
But
It's
Yeah.
DLC.
yeah, DLC. What's the villain's name? Because they revealed him in that issue too.
The Praetor.
The Praetor.
The Praetor. Yeah, he looks.
He looks pretty cool.
Yeah, he looks kind of
Yeah.
raw. I almost thought he was a
Alright.
ranger for a second because he kind of has like the visor and the mouth, but he has an actual real mouth instead of a silver fake
Is
mouth.
that the dude with the hair? Like
No.
he has like long
He
hair.
looks like a red ranger
Red hood on.
with the red
Yeah.
with the red hood on.
Oh.
Oh,
I know,
I think he does have long hair. I think you're right.
Yeah, he looks like
Yeah.
fucking Andros.
Yeah.
So they meet Alarian, and in issue 33, she gave you her backstory about like
How she
I'm
got her
from
powers.
such and such planet. I got these. I got the powers like this. They don't work right because I suck.
Yeah, pretty much. He can't focus. It's like, I guess these powers are like, you have to be like completely focused to control them fully.
At
And I
all
think that,
time.
yeah, and I think that's
For the
why
most part, yeah.
I think that's like part of the problem why she's even glitching in the first place. So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Don't they like in issue 34? Don't they make it like work better through the power of teamwork?
Yeah, that's pretty much
Yeah.
the entire
'Cause
concept
pretty-
of the
'cause-
Solar Rix.
Yeah, because if anything, she's like the life. Without her, they can't morph, period.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're only able to morph because of her because of the Solar Rix, which is her power source.
Yeah, I was trying to say what was the name of it because
Was that
I'm
the
like,
sun?
It's
I ain't gonna lie.
what's
I ain't
that?
gonna lie. I'm skimming through it to remember stuff.
I ain't gonna lie, that the Solar Rix for that name is like, that's a Power Ranger name right there. That's like
It's pretty good.
that's a pretty Power Ranger name.
Yeah, like certain aspects, like I'm not even. Let's not even review the issues really, because nothing's really happened.
Yeah.
Right, they're just
The Megazord battles were kind of cool. I'll give it that.
Right, the Megazord battles were cool. You got a Dark Ranger
Yeah.
backstory. That was weird.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. Man, do I gotta rip that apart.
Have we
we'll
talked
let you
about
do that.
Ryu Soldier yet?
And then, yeah, like Beyond the Grid has just been iffy for me. I don't know if y'all feel the same at home, listeners. If you read it, but it's kind of mid pack to the Giga herb.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way.
What's up?
Let me put it. I'm glad I haven't paid for it.
Hey, support
God
the official
damn it.
release, Meta.
Please support the official
Yeah,
release.
man. How
Come
do you
on,
get
Meta.
Kamen Rider to the West if you don't buy
Hey.
these Power Rangers?
Yeah, if I don't support Beyond the Grid, how am I supposed to get Kamen Rider
Man,
Gaim on
forget
HBO?
about bringing Kamen Rider to the West.
Kamen Rider's good where it's at.
Yeah.
Away from me.
We already got
Downloaded.
Dragon Knight. We already got Dragon Knight. Thank you very much.
Shut
Yeah.
up.
Thank you.
Anyways, back to Beyond the Grid.
Hate you, bro.
Yeah,
I
Beyond
love
the
you
Grid,
too,
is-
baby.
like I can't stand like how they doing the characters, dog. Like Cam is bottom one on this team,
Yo.
And he
and
shouldn't
it's a
be.
shame.
He's bottom
Right.
one because of his dialogue. Dude, I
Why
get
is
so
he
angry.
comic relief? Why is he
Yeah.
comic relief?
He's
like
not supposed to be like that.
something goes wrong. He's like great googly moogly.
Yeah.
He literally said that almost.
What?
Oh,
It's just
snap.
like-
Oh, dang. Oh, frick, he says. I'm
Yeah,
looking at the
you
page
OGs.
right now. Golly,
Like-
G. Willikers, Batman.
Why does Cam talk like that? I don't get it.
I feel like if
They're all playing
It goes back to what I was saying a few days back, where I'm like, I don't think the new writer actually knows these characters, because
Nah.
this is something Cam would never ever say.
Yo, I
And
thought about it.
You can use the excuse also that like, all right, this is an alternate version of Cam and all these characters, not like the same ones from the TV shows, but you gotta keep
bitch.
aspects from the original in this, you know.
yeah,
Okay,
no.
That's why. But what I'm
Who's
going with
writing
is that
this?
they don't really know the characters, which is really hurting this arc too, because the dialogue is actually kind of important.
Right.
Also, I feel like too, if there was anybody who needed like some sort of pizzazz in their character, it has to be Mike.
Yeah.
Because like I know we may feel a certain way about Mike, but like he really wasn't around as much as a Six Ranger.
Yeah.
So you don't even really have a feel for his personality besides the fact that he was Leo's brother and he got his ass kicked at the end of like the series.
He lost his
And-
powers.
And in
Yeah.
the beginning.
So- Yeah, so it's just like I said, it's like if there was anybody, it should have been Mike. But yeah, Cam, that's like the biggest issue I have because like Cam was fine in Ninja Storm, like his personality fit. Like here, it's just like
Dude, he was almost better
Bro.
than everybody on the team in Ninja
Ex-
Storm.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's almost like she read a wiki on the like
Right.
the lore of Power
Yeah.
Rangers, but not the characters.
Yeah.
Even though Mike is pretty close.
Mike is
Who wrote it?
It's Marguerite Bennett.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that?
She
Yeah.
wrote Batwoman, and side note,
Ah,
Batwoman
I see.
Batwoman got
I see.
canceled.
It makes
Batwoman
sense.
got
It all
canceled,
makes
okay.
sense now.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
So
Everything she touches goes down the toilet, kids.
It must. Damn.
and I feel like honestly too, I feel like the problem that I have is that's like I know it's kind of unfair to like always compare to Kyle Higgins, but I feel like when he passed it off, this was a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
also when you think about Shattered Grid, it's just like you had this huge like multi-team crossover, but Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was still the core, and like he was still able to build off of that lore.
Right.
Now you throw Margaret Bennett in the mix. She's not dealing with like the core
Mighty
MMPR team,
Yeah.
so she can't pull from that lore. Now she has to pull from Zeo. She has to pull from Ninja Storm. She has to pull from an alternate timeline Kim.
Mhm.
Pull from what is it?
Lost
Dino
Galaxy.
Lost Galaxy
yeah.
and Dino
Ninja
Charge. A
Storm,
character.
they just-
So it's a whole different ball game for her. So like while I do have my opinions about this, I am willing to give the next couple issues the benefit of the doubt because maybe she'll get her footing because the previews for the next couple issues they sound good,
Right.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, they
also the previews for these issues that we have now sounded good also.
do. Yeah.
Well,
no.
34 and 35 were all right.
Yeah.
I'm still laughing.
That's
at,
that's a very big all right. Like it was passable.
It's readable.
Yeah. Right.
She really
Yeah.
can't watch like 2 or 3 episodes of each season to get a
Honestly,
feel for how these characters
yeah,
are. Is it
because
that hard? What's the gap between each comic that releases? What's the time gap?
a month.
A month.
A month.
A month. You telling me between 31 and 32, or between 30 and 31, which is a month, she couldn't watch a couple episodes about these characters to understand them a little bit?
Right.
Right. And like going back to what Ro was talking about, with Kyle Higgins didn't know all the lore. He admitted that from Jump Street.
Yeah.
And when he didn't know something, he would either like
Research it.
he'd research it, he'd sit down and watch it, or he literally go on a TL on Twitter and ask us.
Mhm.
Yeah, he did. I know that for a fact. He did a lot of times.
And
Like-
I don't even think Margaret has a Twitter, if I'm not mistaken.
She doesn't use it.
Thank God. She's lucky.
Yo, she probably doesn't because all the pissed off fans, dude.
Oh yeah,
Well-
that's true. Yeah,
Like, I mean, I
That's
feel
also-
bad.
That's,
you know.
that's unfortunate. Yeah, that
But-
probably drove her off.
You really gotta be open to this criticism though, because like from what I've been reading, Cam honestly feels like the old comic Batman Robin. You know, the
Yeah.
one that's like the Batman smacks on the face. Like,
Exactly.
no, Robin, shut
Mm.
up.
Speaking of Cam, like we're like roasting Cam, but to be honest, I'm glad Cam is there, and I wish Kim would go somewhere because I do not like her. I don't
Yeah,
like Dragon Timeline Kim.
Lesbian.
Ranger
lesbian
Slayer-
kid.
Ranger Slayer is really not doing much. I mean, they're hinting at this kind of like weird romance between, or kind of romantic tension between her and Heckle, but at the same time, I don't really see that going anywhere that much.
Me either.
I'm just like, this is kind of like random because she's like, "Oh, you're an outsider. I'm an outsider too. We really relate." That's like all I'm
So I
getting out of it.
We all
You gotta
outsiders. We all pull from the timeline, bitch.
You're,
I guess I-
Heckle, you're once evil. I was once evil too. Like,
Yeah,
cool. You gotta put more
You
to
gotta
it than that.
I guess
Gotta have
people
a
were all.
romantic subplot.
So we're
They
people
got, like,
also upset
several.
that,
There, I think there's like an emotional
Why?
disconnect here too, because like they want us to like feel emotionally attached to the conflict here and everything that's going on between them, but at the same time, you just, I don't know, something about it's just like you can't help but not care.
Mm.
It's weird.
it's a very
that's-
blank. It's like a 2D story. It's like you
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like whenever you see like a McDonald's commercial,
Uh-huh.
and it's like you see that radiant burger, and then when you get to it, it's like all smushed and shit.
Yep. Yeah,
It's
pretty
like
much.
that. You're just like, this is not what I
You got
ordered.
too much lettuce on your
This ain't no
McChicken.
Big Mac. But yeah.
Speaking of fast food, Wing became like a KFC commercial.
Oh, well, we'll get to that.
Not there yet.
We're gonna get to that, buddy. Yeah.
But
Idiot.
I think
There's
like
actually-
for a writer, especially for a Power Rangers writer who's tackling Rangers that belong to more than one season, you gotta like have pretty good knowledge about it. I think,
Mhm.
or at least make the effort to do the research, because I'm telling you, this dialogue really sucks.
You couldn't get Sentai 5.
it's really
I would
bad.
love to
I
write
don't
a
know, it
Power
ma-
Rangers comic.
I don't know. Also, this question's like also just, it's been nagging in my head for like
Yeah.
the past couple issues. Just like, I want to know how this process of picking the new writer was.
Yeah.
That's what I'm very
Uh,
curious about.
Y'all niggas hiring?
Just, just a
'Cause,
big
like-
hat with a bunch of papers in it. You can't,
I don't know, because like I said, it's I don't like. I don't know.
Oh.
It's whenever I read these issues, it's very agitating because it's just like, like I said, Kyle, he pretty much, he had this whole thing going, and I felt like if you were gonna take over for him, like they should have vetted you first, man. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how the vetting process would have went. It can't just be, all right, we're gonna pick somebody random from the hat. It gotta be somebody who's just like, all right, yo, I literally just came and just did this massive crossover. Everyone loves me. You have a big shoes to fill. Like, what do you know? How can we help you? And then the transition should have been like that, because I felt like,
Yeah.
Shattered Grid happened, and then boom, Beyond the Grid, and then it's not like the quality just like went down like substantial over time. It just like it went down like boom, like you can feel it.
Nose
The
dive.
next issue over.
Yeah.
It's like you drop your sandwich on the floor and you're just like, well, fuck.
Yeah,
So much for the 5-second rule.
Like, talk about food.
Yeah, I was gonna say Meta hungry boy. He talking about
Right.
KFC and McDonald's.
Meta, did you eat yet, bro?
Yo, I'm doing that right now. That's why I'm partial mute. But
You can hear him smack it too. He's like,
Actually, we can't be mad. The dude had a flu for a while, so he's still probably getting his appetite back.
Yeah.
So,
Nah, fuck man.
Five, when you pull in your big boy YouTube famous strings and getting Kyle on the podcast, to be honest.
Hopefully we can get him one day. I'd like to have him on, but he's a busy man. He's writing Winter Soldier right now.
Oh yeah, he
Were you a
is.
soldier?
Winter Holo Soldier. He's writing Holo
I
Soldier
wish.
right now.
I wish he was writing you.
Yeah, man. Like
He's right
you gotta
now.
have like, you have to be more knowledgeable about like the lore and like how the characters are and act if you're gonna like do something like this, in my opinion. Because yeah, it's good to have new blood to Power Rangers, but there's gotta be some kind of like minimum requirement at the same time.
Do you think it would be better if she did an annual like, and then
Yeah.
gave us like some stories about these other Rangers that
Yeah, because then
you know, what I'm saying, to flesh them out? Because
maybe she could get a choice about who she wants to write, who she knows about more. You know.
Mm.
she's trying to ship Tanya and Mike, and I'm not having it because it's not going down in Ginga Earth.
Actually, that's one thing I kind of do like. I kind
Same.
of. It's like
You
it's like
feel
something
it?
brand new. I know they're from different points in time, technically.
I ship Adam and Tanya. That's why I know.
I've been rewatching Zeo and I see it all. I see it all with Adam and Tanya. They're perfect, but I like this is the comic version of these people. It's not the same anymore.
I have a question for y'all.
What's up?
So, would you have preferred it if she if the story continued with our core 5 MPR, or like, do you guys like the fact that they took a jump and
What if
made
it was
like an
them-
all-star team?
If it was them in space, is that what you're saying? If it was them in space instead of these ones?
Yeah, or if it was just if however it progressed, it was still the core Mighty Morphin team. Like, how would you feel if
I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay, I guess I'll start it off real quick. Honestly, I think she might have done better with the core Mighty Morphin team. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what season she's seen, but I'm assuming she's seen at least Mighty Morphin. So
Yeah.
that's like a common thing with like a lot of like people coming onto Power Rangers, which it is what it is. They grew up with whatever season they grew up with. So, and if Mighty Morphin's the case, then maybe she might do better with the core team. But at the same time, I'm glad that we got this new roster of Power Rangers for this team, because this is something I've wanted, like, to have a team focused from Rangers of different seasons since like MMPR issue 1, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or actually issue 0.
So yeah, that's why it's such a letdown to see it like not be that great
Because we don't have good
this is
writing
what I
behind
want.
it. Yeah.
I wonder. Okay, to remix Rose's question, how would you feel if she did a comic about a different team, like from another season, like a whole team?
Well, that team better have good writing to them. That's all.
That's all. That's number one problem.
It's
that
obviously
literally is
gotta
the main
be-
problem. What's up?
Well, it's obviously got to be like likable characters from the
Yeah.
seasons.
Yeah.
Like you ain't gonna put
So
Dylan
like a
in.
Mystic Force comic.
You're not gonna put a Mystic Force comic out. No way.
no.
Mystic
that'd
Force
be
in
kinda
space.
raw. Hold
Yikes.
on.
I will say one thing. Whenever they put the Mighty Morphin team in space, like this goes with this goes for the show also. Whenever you put the Mighty Morphin Rangers in space, for some reason it really slaps. I really don't know what it is, but it really. I don't know. It slaps.
I know what you mean, though. I know exactly what
Like you
mean.
put them on like a different. They have a mission to go to a different planet. It's kind of raw.
Oh,
Yeah, remember
yeah.
when you had Tommy on the moon and Forever Red?
Yeah, man. We're not talking about Forever Red. We're talking about Mighty Morphin specifically.
Mighty
Like
Morphin,
when they
yeah.
had to go get the sword to transfer their powers. That was
When they
raw.
get the Shogun Zords off
When
the
they
moon.
Yeah, when they had to get the Shogun Zords from the rusted planet. When they went to go help the Kamen Rider Black RX liberate his unstable planet. That was I'm telling you, you take out the Kimberly parts of that team up, and that was fucking raw.
That was pretty great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something not so great real quick. Not to
Yeah.
cut you off. Let's talk about Xenowing, like Meta said, Xenowing falling into the sun or whatever.
He became part of KFC.
That main part of
He
like
literally
That was
became
the
fried
weirdest-
chicken.
Okay, so I want to hear some opinions. I want to hear some opinions on that issue. Dark Ranger's backstory.
Start it off, Ron.
I'll start.
Yeah.
I'll start. So, Dino Charge. I only watched like partially of Dino Charge season 1. So my knowledge of it is very, very basic. I don't even think I even made it to Zenoing. So going into this issue, I honestly felt like, if being as ignorant as I am, Dino Charge, it was very straightforward. Now, it wasn't until I had the conversation with you guys that I realized, there was a lot of things missing, and which literally winds right back to the initial issue I have, with the writing. It's just, that's, you can't just miss key things like that. Like, I know we're good. I know I'm kind of jumping in, but let's talk about, what is it? Soul of the Dragon. We literally have, a little tiny thing where Tommy says, blah, blah, blah. I had the Zero Crystal for 20 years. It gets blah, blah. It gets powerful, as time goes on. Little tiny things like that. Like, had I not had that conversation, I would have not known, there was some certain parts missing with, Heckle, actually becoming a ranger.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like little things like that.
His backstory don't make no sense, really.
First of all, I don't know why I get the Dark Energem is like crazy, stupid, powerful, and then corrupts people. And it corrupted Zenowing, which is why, he had his Doomwing twin, whatever. But I don't get why in this comic he was so he was really scared.
Yeah,
I'm like,
big shook.
Like, dude, you're a Power Ranger. You I don't get it. Like, you shouldn't be scared, because if you're this scared, you would have never become a Power Ranger. You would never became the Silver Ranger, or anything. Like, I don't get this.
Xenowing was scared?
Yeah, Xenowing was scared.
What?
He was completely out of character.
Heckle was trying to harness the power of the Dark Energem to be used, as a Power Ranger to defend Sentai 6, aka my first YouTube channel. And Zenowing's like, yo, fam, you can't be doing that. Like, it's not time. First of all, Zenowing's like, the planet's getting attacked by Arcanon, and Zenowing's like, yo, whatever you do, it's going to be the end of Sentai 6, so...
Let's hide.
Yeah, I'm like, what? This guy makes no sense right now. He makes zero sense at all. And I've seen Dino Supercharge, so don't even, whoever's listening right now wants to challenge me, I dare you.
He's completely out of character. Zenowing won't never scared in Dino Charge.
Yeah.
You know why it's out of character?
Why?
Because she wrote it.
Yep.
Because
She wrote it.
Oh yeah, she did.
I guarantee you.
Yeah, she did write it.
You didn't know what the fuck a Xenowing is.
I stopped reading for 10 minutes when Zenowing said, "Let's run and hide." I'm like, well, I know this ain't a Dino Charge Ranger talk right now.
Even Heckle was like, yo, what's wrong with you?
The Silver Ranger said, "Let's run and hide."
Yeah. I get that you're scared to use the Dark Energem because that's what destroyed your planet in the first place, but you kind of have no choice.
Where Keeper at?
They are the Keeper.
They are keepers.
Yeah.
Well, they're garbage.
Not Heckle. Heckle rangered up on them.
Man, Heckle's actually kind of raw in this issue.
Yeah, Heckle's raw. His backstory isn't, but he is.
Right.
Tay's not here, but I know what he would talk about.
Yeah.
It makes no sense that the Dark Energem just automatically defaults to
the
Spinosaurus.
suit. Yeah, because they never showed it, even in the show, bonding to the Spinosaurus. So you're just why? Why is this even I get why from behind the scenes, because they're using the Death Ranger suit and it only makes sense that way. But for the universe itself, I'm just yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Also, I want some explanation as to what Zenowing did to seal the dark powers.
Yeah, I think he absorbed it. It looked like he had some kind of Doctor Strange spell.
Yeah, it looks like he absorbed it.
Yeah, and then
just stupid.
I'm thinking he's dead for right now. I know Jason Bischoff had a tweet saying R.I.P. Zenowing with a little funny ass gif. But this is Power Rangers.
It must be facts.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's probably facts, but knowing how Power Rangers is, he's probably going to make a return somewhere down the line.
Oh yeah, he's gonna come back. He's gonna join the team.
He's gonna have the power of the Colonel.
Shut up. He's gonna have 7 different spices when he comes back. Hey, but let's move on to a better comic, because
please go
beyond the Grid. Oh, you want to do Go?
Yeah, we can do Go and then knock out Soul of the Dragon after if you want.
Yeah, let's do Go then. Yeah. What happened to Go-Go? They changed colors because they went to an alternate dimension.
Was it alternate
But-
dimension or an alien planet?
What's the difference?
I don't really know because Zordon said they're not anywhere in this universe when they was looking for them.
Oh,
So
right.
I didn't.
No, I got it open now. So let's see.
Yo, oh, there's some interesting stuff. Like, and in the meantime, you had like a backstory of like Rita in the original Green Ranger.
Oh yeah, that was
It
big
was-
raw.
That was raw. They was slapboxing. The Green Ranger was glitching.
Yep.
It was some ugly red nigga in the suit.
I forget the names of those aliens. Damn, what the hell was their name? You know, I forget.
I forget as well. But like, yeah, the arc was pretty entertaining. Like to be like, what was it, like 3 or 4 issues?
Yeah,
It
and
was
fun,
short.
and fun fact, the Green Ranger, the original user, did not have the Golden Dragon shield.
Oh, he did.
my
He did
goodness.
not.
Mm-mm.
He
Nope.
did not. So it makes you wonder where the shield even came from.
Yeah.
Or I think
Probably.
it had to do with him not being able to use the powers properly since he was glitching. So I think
Wasn't it a chick? If I'm not mistaken.
no.
No,
Sure.
that's not possible. That can't
I
be
think it
right.
was just Tommy.
Is that possible?
Some red alien dude.
There was just some red alien
The,
guy. And
the
Rita,
alien was named
Oh.
the alien was named Lorian.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like a Lorcus.
No, no.
I think I'd say something like
What, Corcus?
Native American.
No.
But yeah,
Pretty much
I'm
it.
not.
Like they switch colors and then, well, Jason and Trini switch colors. Their minds are
That's
linked
it.
together, so they're able to read each other's
I
thoughts
wonder why
and
they
feelings.
did that. I wonder why they did that. That's
don't know.
interesting. I wonder. Very
like,
interesting.
they switched colors because the alternate dimension threw off their morphing energies.
Yeah.
Oh, they're out their
Yeah.
astral energy. I see.
Yeah, they like you're making fun of it, but at the same time,
It's really
this
awesome.
it is really awesome. But it is like a B plot because they don't. The Mighty Morphin Rangers don't really do anything important. The important part is the Green Ranger
Mhm.
backstory, the Green Ranger setup.
because it's
yeah.
literally setting Go-Go up for Green with Evil, their version of it.
Right, and then they met Alpha One. Well, they're gonna meet Alpha One because while
Yeah.
Trini and Jason were gone, somebody was doing their homework for them,
hmm
so no one would notice that they were like missing. And
First
it was
of all,
like,
Alpha 1 is big sus. Look at his
yeah,
face.
he is. He is.
You call him
He
him.
looks
He
like
calls himself an old friend. Dude, he looks like he's gonna kill them.
looks
For
like
real.
He looks like a big murdering android. to
You know what
me.
I hope? And I know this is not gonna happen because this is I don't know, but I know for a fact this won't happen, but I wish he was like infected by the Vengeance virus. Just because of the way he
that
looks.
would-
But
that would
that's
not
not, that's
happen.
not. Yeah, that would not happen.
Is he?
that-
I wonder if he's like, because in the shot, the way it's framed, he looks huge, but
It's probably
I don't
tiny.
think he's gonna be huge. Yeah,
Do you think he's gonna be evil?
he looks evil. They drew him with the big glowing red eye.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy looks
He looks,
scary.
Maybe he just woke.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just
I thought you were gonna say hi.
And also, what was I gonna say? Jason and Trini finally kiss after like a 2-year build-up from the Go-Go comics. Only for them to be like, we're better as friends or whatever.
Yeah, that was.
Just
Don't
keep it
wait.
between us.
What a waste.
Yeah.
Don't make it weird.
Yeah, let's not make it. Let's never speak of this again.
Dog.
Jason just
Anyway.
wanted to drop.
To be honest,
He got curved.
no penetration. Then that's it. Like
Yeah.
what, this Green with Evil arc probably finna pop off next. It's probably gonna smack.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
one more thing. Kim and Skull go on a genuine date.
Damn!
Like she actually doesn't reject him, and he was like, "Oh wait, usually you tell me no, but all right."
Yeah.
Yo,
she like
he-
big boys like
He
that.
rejects Kim because he's like, I don't want to be no side piece.
Go
Yeah, that was GOAT. That's what I was saying. I was like,
wow, Skull,
king
way
level
to-
content.
Yeah.
and she was like, "You're curving me," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Nobody does
Yes.
Kimberly.
He said, "Shut up, whore."
And pretty much, he's like, "Yo, I can't be your rebound."
He quote tweeted her and said, "Kitchen."
And
Oh my god!
because she subtweeted him originally saying all men are trash.
Jesus.
After that date,
That was the
Yo,
end of
I
it.
want
man.
teenagers with attitude in this current day,
Yeah,
because
seriously.
90%. Can we get like a Power Rangers Twitter for
No,
us?
they would just
I
try to
mean,
cancel the villains.
That's what this is. This is modern
Bulk and
day.
Skull are the most successful Power Ranger YouTubers, Tokutubers
Hey.
technically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take that.
Oh,
They,
did
they really
YouTubers.
are. They got their own
Take that,
podcast
going-
Sunshine 5.
and YouTube
Are
channel.
they going to film school?
No,
Hey, no, they're not.
Oh,
They're
that's
in high
sad.
school.
they just show up at every monster fight and scream World Star.
Yeah, seriously,
Yo.
literally.
I can't find Soul of the Dragon.
I got the thread
This
on
was-
my Twitter page if you want to
Oh.
see it.
This was just fun. Like honestly, like this is
Yeah.
a nice little like refresher from Shattered Grid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Gogo's
Yeah.
GOAT. Best comic.
Go is GOAT. Like I love their characterizations of everybody, not even just the Rangers.
And this is like it's just fun. Like I don't know, like even though it's like set up for good, it's just fun to read. Like I was literally just like cheesing while I was reading the shit. Like this is great.
That shit is you. Though.
Yeah, you always cheesing.
Yeah, you're
I
weird.
know.
For no
so
reason.
That shit.
I love my smile, yo. I love my smile.
Hey man, like,
You gotta
but
be
Go-Go
honest,
is Go-Go is. I don't know what it is about it that just makes it way more fun than Beyond the Grid. Like we're talking
think-
about these niggas going out on dates and kissing.
I think
Meanwhile,
it's because it's literally like Power Ranger
Well written.
episodes, but like told in, the 21st century, told in
Right.
modern day.
Mhm.
It's
Because like
it's
we're about to
well
get their version of
Give it up
Green with
like that.
Evil right now, which is kind of nuts.
He's gonna
And-
come in on a hoverboard.
Yeah.
And no restrictions also. Like that's the best
Yeah,
No
part.
restrictions either. Yeah. Like I know the
No
main PR
restrictions.
comic set that up also. The whole like original stories not restricted by a TV budget, but like Go-Go like goes more in depth. I guess sort of.
Go-Go does what they promised with MNPR,
Yeah.
Mhm.
the book. But anyway, let's transition to the Soul of the Dragon,
Oh man.
starring Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yo,
The final gift to Kyle Higgins.
Five, why don't you go ahead? Because Tommy is your boy. Why don't you give us the rundown?
Tommy's my father. So we
Okay.
open up to what I originally thought should have been Reefside High, but apparently it's Bridgeport Township High School. I guess Tommy originally. I guess Tommy switched teaching school districts. So
He got tired of Connor's shit.
yeah, I guess.
For real.
So he's at his retirement party. He's retiring from teaching. He's been teaching at this school district for about 10 years. But before that, I guess he was at Reefside for all that time.
This is raw.
And he's married to Catherine Hillard. And
Yes.
Take-
Yes.
First of all, public PSA, take that Tommy and Kim shippers. They don't exist anymore. They're done.
This-
It's
this-
Tommy Cat, baby. It's Tomcat.
And this book is canon.
It don't
Oh,
mean
yep.
shit now.
Well, don't say the word canon. This book is in continuity with
Yeah,
the TV
yeah. Excuse
show
me.
because people
Yeah.
don't like when you use the word canon incorrectly.
It is canon.
But yeah, so everyone's asking, "Oh, Tommy, what are you gonna do after retirement?" Blah blah blah. He's like, I'm gonna stay chilling, whatever." And Kat's like, "Oh, I think Kat became a teacher because she's like, my school booked me a trip to Triforia, so we're gonna go vacationing over there or something."
Go.
Yeah. So we get onto it, and then Tommy's in the car with his wife Catherine. Did I mention that's his wife? They have a son together named JJ. They have a son together named JJ.
I love you.
He was in the show. I remember him.
He was in the show by voice only in Dimensions in Danger. So boom. So they're talking in the car, and pretty much this is 10 years after SPD. I think. Yeah, 10 years after SPD. So
Mhm.
this time SPD is like, they're patrolling the streets. They got heavy armored agents on the street protecting and have all these checkpoints. And Tommy's looking at them. He's like, he's wondering if everything they've done in the past was even worth it. He's like, like, I wonder if everything we did was even like made a difference
matter.
because it didn't matter because we have all this new young blood, doing all the work within like short amount of time, or like half the time, and in bigger numbers and stuff. I don't know if we were even impactful. I think like history kind of forgot us. And he's like big sad boys mode right now. He's retired. He goes to the doctor. He's got this awesome spine enhancement because he got washed as the Green Ranger. And what else?
Tommy got Tommy
He's
got a
always getting
bad
wa-
back.
Yeah, he's always getting washed as the Green Ranger. And we find out that incident also cracked his. I think that incident also cracked his Master Morpher.
Oh, yeah.
No.
No, it
Wait,
didn't.
That wasn't.
No, it was two different fights, I believe. It looks like two different monsters, or maybe I'm tripping. Oh no, you're right.
Was
My
it
fault.
against
My
a
fault.
I should have said
knockoff?
what?
My fault,
Yeah,
bro.
so his Morpher is cracked, and that's pretty much it. So he's, as any retired father would do, he's calling his son JJ, who's at SPD Academy, and he's like, "Hey, man, let's once you come home this weekend or something, we'll catch up. We'll go out or something."
Smoke a
And
blunt.
JJ, pretty much. And JJ's like, "Nah, fam, I got my own life. I got stuff to do, man. I got big boy stuff."
I don't hang out with wash niggas.
Yeah, so it looks like he's about to go to a club or something, and then he gets kidnapped by these aliens. And then, as we keep going on, we're gonna keep dragging the story on because I'm going detail by detail.
Yeah.
A friend of JJ's who I thought was an Equation, but they never really state who she really is. Her name is Anara. She's a cadet in JJ's class, and she goes to Tommy saying that he's missing, and we haven't heard from him in a while. We don't know where he is. Do you know where he is? And Tommy's like, I just talked to him last night. Like, what the hell? So Tommy goes to SPD, which I think it's like a spiral. I don't know what that is, but I just call it the Justice League Watchtower.
It's the watchtower.
because-
Yeah.
So SPD got a huge watchtower over Earth.
On God.
And of course, Sky is the commander of SPD. And Tommy goes and talks to him, and they talk to each other like they've known each other for years. It's pretty cool because they talk about like these old fights, specifically the Rebel Run fight. They're like, "Yeah, we had a good time in that battle." So
I hope we see comics of those things
me
like
too.
that because that's interesting.
Because Tommy's been helping out the younger generation of Rangers time to time, especially SPD. So that's a pretty cool story to tell. So Tommy goes to Sky asking, "Oh, where's he at?" and everything. Sky's like, "To be honest, JJ left the academy. Like, I don't know where he is." And he's like, "What the hell? Why wouldn't JJ tell me? That's my son. He and I used to be so close and everything." So that's pretty
Like,
much
oh.
what happens on that scene. And Kat actually doesn't stop Tommy from going out and finding their son. She's like, she's not really concerned about him taking matters into his own hands. She just wants him to be careful from using the Master Morpher because it's cracked. And you know how unstable a cracked Morpher is. Hint, hint,
Shout
wink,
outs to
wink,
Adam.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that reference.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think she was directly referencing Adam, but you can tell by a cracked Morpher. You put two and two together. So Tommy goes to the bar, and he wishes a nigga would. And he finds this guy named Maurice trying to track his son down, and he's like,
Maurice.
Yeah, Maurice. So these aliens start a fight with Tommy, and he morphs into the Dino Thunder Black Ranger. Boom. But then he loses power after the fight, and the power coin just like disintegrates, and we find out that a mechanism in the Morpher that like cycles through the powers, it's broken, and once you use the coin, that's the last time you can use those powers, which is something really big. So Dino Thunder Black is gone for good right now, as we know it. So after that, it's just like it's stuck in a fixed order. That's also an important detail because it's stuck from Tommy's most recent power, and it countdowns down to his very first power.
The crappiest one.
Yeah, the weakest one of them all. So Anara meets up with Tommy again, and they go to I think they go to the docks or something, or some warehouse, and they see JJ making a drug deal with these people, these aliens or whatever, and he's selling these like power crystals to these gangs, and he shatters one, and he turns into like this. I don't know. It was like this crazy Green Ranger esque
$5 Green Ranger.
power suit.
$5, nigga. That armor was baller.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Yeah.
You tripping, bro?
They look like they went to the GI Joe live action movie and like made a Power Ranger version of that suit because that thing was kind of raw. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, you a hater.
So
I know.
he turns into this like Power Ranger like suit,
They were
and
Guyver.
yeah, and then Tommy intervenes. He's like, "Yo, JJ, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing, man?" And he morphs into who? Who does he morph into? Who does Tommy morph into?
Red Turbo
Ranger. He morphs
Shout out
into
to
TJ,
TJ.
baby.
What if when he powered down, he was a
So he fights as the Red Turbo Ranger and gets washed by his own boy.
He jumped
And,
TJ for his powers.
Yeah, and like the building collapses that they're fighting in, and we see Tommy helmetless in the Red Turbo suit, which I don't think we've ever actually seen except for like the morph. But getting back to it,
The movie also
movie.
too.
oh yeah, the movie.
when
the
Jason
movie.
was choking that nigga.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So that battle actually messed up his back again. So Anara actually helps his spinal implant. Sorry, and Tommy actually thinks that like JJ's doing this. Like he thinks like JJ's doing this himself. It's not like he's under any spell. So they're like they got to figure out the next course of action, and Tommy is like, I know just the place to go. He goes to his apartment, and on the other side of the door, who is it? Finster.
What's his face? Finster. What's his face?
So if we find out Finster was actually purified by the Z-Wave, even though he was blatantly turned to dust.
Dust, yeah.
We saw it in Countdown to Destruction. So I don't know. I guess the sand like reconstructed him again after that.
Maybe
I don't know.
That's something that's weird.
Because he did not change his appearance. He just has new clothes. That's really it.
He had a sweater vest on.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of cool. Like Tommy like hugs him like they're old friends, and it's like a parallel to Shattered Grid how Draken was hugging Finster 5.
Ah.
So I guess like they've been keeping in touch over the years, him and Finster. So Tommy's like, hey, my son has this weird crystal thing that he got a hold of. You got any idea who could be behind it? And he thinks it might be related to Rita, but she's been purified for years. She's, a mystic mother, so it couldn't be her turning evil. So he knows of this person who calls themselves the Witch, quote unquote, and like a good detective for the reader, I think you could figure out who this is without even going further. And it's not Rita.
Scorpina.
Yeah, it turns out to be Scorpina towards the end. So Tommy. What was I gonna say? Tommy talks about like having the Zeo coin because he knows that's the next power set, and Anara is like, oh wait, no, never mind.
Tommy was the one that said it.
Yeah, Tommy was the one who said the powers get stronger over time, and he's had it for over like 20 years. So
it's like a nuke.
Yeah, it's pretty much a huge nuke of power. And Tommy, like, he morphs into the Zeo Ranger and, like, he watches these aliens. He bodies them hard, man. So Tommy finally figures out that JJ's actually undercover for SPD, and they meet the witch who is actually like a shadow figure right now. But if you pay attention to the weapon she's holding, that is Scorpina's weapon. And I didn't pay attention to that until like I reread the comic. I was like, damn, I can't believe I didn't pick up on that. So she kidnaps JJ, and Tommy like tries to stop her, but him and Anara like don't get there in time. So we cut to, actually it reveals her face. It reveals her as Scorpina, and then she takes JJ. My bad. So JJ is like tied up or whatever. He's about to be sacrificed to, we'll find out soon enough, to another person who I think you can figure out who's coming back. But we find out that Tommy goes back to Finster's apartment or his house, whatever, and poor guy got murdered.
Oh,
R.I.P. to my nigga.
He literally got murdered. It's so sad. I think you know what happened. I think Tommy blew his cover up too. I think. I'm pretty sure. I forget the part where he said it, but he's like, I think it was like Finster was right or something like that.
Oh yeah.
She pretty much tricked him into giving up Finster's name. So
hasn't Finster like been in hiding or something? Like
I don't know what was
Like,
going on. He became like a he became. I think he like owned like an art gallery of like
Yeah.
clay stuff. That's it. That's all he was. He was making an honest living. So we cut to this like mountain dimension thing where Scorpina is setting up JJ for sacrifice to the one, the only, Lokar.
Woo!
And she pretty much reveals where she's been and what she's been doing since Power Rangers in Space, because she wasn't there for a countdown to destruction.
shout outs to God.
Yeah, because honestly, this has been one of the biggest mysteries for Power Rangers. If you've been like keeping up with like the Zordon era, because she just like mysteriously disappears. So Scorpina reveals that she was banished to the Talos dimension. Shout outs to Zhu Ranger. After being caught and set up by Rita to like steal a spell book of hers. So after the Z Wave, Lokar sends Scorpina back as his like emissary on Earth, but it costs her a price. So she lands on Earth, has to find a way to like bring him back and everything. So that's what she's been doing for the past like 20, 30 years at this point, because she's trying to like. That's why she has all these crystals. So like, whoever she gives these crystals to, whenever they use their powers, it powers up to Lokar. He can feed on that chaos energy, so he can manifest himself back into like the regular Ranger dimension. And that's pretty much her big end goal, to bring Lokar back, because he literally gave her a second life, so she owes him to that. And so as she's about to kill JJ, Tommy comes in as the White Ranger. And she's like, "You're an old man, blah blah. You can't fight me. You're all alone." And Tommy's like, "Oh, you think I'm alone? And who's he with? Who's he with, boys?
With the squad.
The
He got Cat. He got
Goat
SPD
squad.
with him.
Yeah, he's
Blue
got
Centurion.
SPD, Blue Centurion. Ooh,
Oh yeah. Look at Shadow, dog.
dude, I know, man. That's Doggy Crew out of retirement. Came out of retirement just to help Tommy, man. So they all. I kind of wish they actually made like a big battle scene for this, but they didn't. It's kind of whack.
Yeah, because it was they were trying to like wind it down,
Yeah,
have the
man.
climax at the same time.
Yeah, so Scorpina like uses all those like chaos power crystals, those dark crystals, and she shatters them and becomes this like new gigantic like scorpion monster. And Tommy is losing his White Ranger powers, so he's like, "Oh man, one last morph." And we see JJ like in trouble, and Tommy just throws his morpher to JJ, and JJ morphs into the Green Ranger, the original Green Ranger, and he washes like all like these alien creatures, Scorpina. So Lokar got big mad. He was like, "Yo, Scorpina, you wasted all this time to fail. I'm sucking you through this portal again. Deuces." I'm pretty sure he kills her, and that's the end of Lokar, I guess, too. Like, I don't know. So, Blue Centurion, sorry, I'm trying to remember now. Blue Centurion SPD arrests like the alien like gang members who were helping Scorpina out, and that's pretty much it. JJ's like, "Hey man, I'm sorry for lying to you guys. I should have told you I was part of I was undercover, but that would have blown it." And Tommy and Cat, yeah, big whack. This is where like it starts really going downhill, unfortunately, because like it was so anticlimactic. So Tommy finally, after that, Tommy retires with Cat, and they take a boat around the world. That's the end of the issue.
No, it's not.
We're not gonna talk about that last page. How whack that last page is. They all live happily ever after. The end. That's a great story.
You purposely did that.
Yep.
That's how it should have ended.
That's how it
but
should have
instead,
ended, but this is what happened.
They threw this big stupid picture of SPD Green with a dragon shield on.
Oh,
God.
dude.
God, man.
Kyle
JJ,
Higgins-
you had to ruin a good
JJ's
thing.
just like, I gotta be fashionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kyle did that on purpose to fuck with us, dude. Honestly.
That's what it feels like.
You ruined something so good. Like, honestly, they didn't have to make JJ part of B Squad. Like, I get why he has to have the SPD green suit, but they could have had him, like, as his own, like, undercover squad. And then make him, like, a Dragon Zord themed SPD suit. That would have been so much more raw.
They really fumbled the bag at the.
Damn.
Yeah.
It makes sense why they do it, but it's so ugly. Like, God, they should have.
If I,
They were better off making JJ like the leader of like some SPD undercover squad. God, man, that's
Five really tried to sneak by and not say
Yeah.
the SPD Green shield.
Kirby Noah video should have been played whenever that picture got posted.
You let the whole
team
down. they really did. I know Kyle Higgins was like, I know niggas will hate this. Let me write this into the comic book.
People argue me on Twitter saying like, "Oh, but he's SPD green. He has to be because he's B Squad." I'm like, he could be part of a different squad. I don't get what people don't understand.
Yeah, but why the fuck does he need that ugly ass dragon shield?
I don't know, man.
So stupid. It looks so dumb.
He's just like, Dad said this was 50 years old. So you know.
The funny
I'm
part is
cer-
they made Sky a new SPD suit, but they couldn't make JJ a new one.
Yeah,
Dog.
he got the hand me downs, man. He ain't important.
Dog.
I would
on.
rather JJ Squad. Oh, never mind, because they're evil. Scorpion's
This man
crystal
showing up
things.
with
Yeah.
I'd rather them look like that.
look like that.
the man
yeah.
showing up in the Salvation Army Ranger suit. To be honest,
That was dumb. He showed up in his SPD Mighty Morphin cosplay.
Yeah, man.
exactly,
Oh,
man. He got the discount. Get that.
like
Kyle, I refuse to believe Kyle Higgins thought that was clever. Oh, I'm gonna take SPD green because Tommy's green and
If he
Put
thought that
the
was clever,
Dog,
Dragon shield on
someone
it.
at Boom Studios woke up one morning and literally thought that's the best possible way to put JJ in.
they're just like, this is the best possible scenario.
No, they smoked before they came to work.
We're not gonna try and make different squads because we're SPD. We're a unit. We're like a galactic police organization.
Man,
no, we're
this
gonna
is
put
why
in
you
B
don't-
Squad.
This is why you don't do drugs, kids.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
aside from that one big turd at the end of the comic book, it's pretty solid. Like it was
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good,
nice.
pretty
It's a nice
stellar.
send-off.
Man, I could have swore I watched that as a movie somewhere else.
Because they kept
I know, right?
they did pretty well with the continuity aspect of it.
Mhm.
Because with Scorpina and Lokar, that's a big thing. And I was hoping they would be the ones showing up in this comic when this was first announced, and we were right.
Yeah, like Meta said he saw it as a movie, and I'm like, that's why I said
Hugh
as Hugh
Jackman
Jackman.
would've been the perfect
That's
Hey, man,
like
I
him
was-
in that movie.
He is. Oh, he's got that same jacket, the beard.
Man,
That
all
is
we
great.
needed to do was have him tote around Zordon, to be honest.
Pretty much.
Dog, could you imagine, like, if instead of like it was just like Logan, and he just had like a busted version of Alpha in the back of his truck for a whole movie,
Oh,
Yo.
and then he had to decommission him at the end.
yeah.
No, why couldn't it just been Zordon, to be honest? Like, if
Zordon's already
Zordon-
dead.
Hey man,
Yes,
at least
but,
Tommy
like-
didn't have to fight a clone of himself like in Logan. So
Mm.
a younger
Without me.
clone.
No.
Oh my god.
Weapon,
What if they
weapon T.
actually did?
Weapon T.
If they did, I probably wouldn't have minded because Tommy finding a clone of himself is always raw.
Shout outs to them for not doing too much Mighty Morphin pandering and like having like
Mhm.
the whole squad come through and all that
Honestly,
stuff.
there was barely like. Honestly, like, you know, I'm gonna backtrack because I expected Tommy to like reach out to more people
Mhm.
instead of just like Finster.
Ooh.
Like
Yeah.
I'm glad he went.
Maybe
to,
they were all
I'm glad-
dead.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna piggyback off of that when you're done.
Yeah, I'm glad he went to Sky though, because like you want to get like someone who's not MMPR on it. But at the
Yeah.
same time, like I would have thought he would have at least like went to go get Jason, you know, one of his oldest friends of all time.
You know,
I was gonna
Jason
say
would be-
Billy.
Maybe
let's be
Jason's
honest.
dead. Who knows? Maybe Jason's dead at this point in time. Because these
Nah,
guys
he's-
are really old now.
Let's keep it a stack. He knew he wouldn't do anything.
What, Jason?
Jason?
Yeah, that's why with the Sky, he's the raid boss.
You disrespecting Jason, right?
Yeah.
Do Jason dirty like that? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Jason and TJ would be the first ones to come to Tommy's side if he.
Yeah,
ever...
TJ would come, but Jason probably gonna be in a walker.
Yeah,
Why? Why are you so bad?
he's got a point. They're in their like 60s at this point, I think.
Exactly. This
So-
man gonna be in a walker. You think you can do those stunts without being in a walker at that age?
Well, he's got a Power Ranger suit, so. that
Yeah, he'll
immediately,
be
like,
all
gives him
right.
an
Tommy
advantage
got a
right there.
metal back, nigga.
Yeah, bro.
Tommy's like he's got adamantium.
He's got his back blown out.
I don't know. Yeah, speaking about that, like I find a lot of like symbolism, like in Soul of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Because like here's my thing, like when you read Soul of the Dragon, what from a fan perspective, it's cool that Tommy has consistently come back, whenever the world has needed him. But also at the same time, when you think about it, it's like, nigga, you this old and you still putting on the suit. Like when you think about it from a real world perspective, it's like there's no doubt in my mind he called other people like after these team ups, and they were just like, bro, no, I'm I got
done.
kids. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
done.
Dude, that's how Tommy is, though. That's who Tommy is. He's someone who can't stand, who can't like sit back and watch. He's like someone who has to like.
Yeah, but if he tried calling on Billy'd be like, "Yo, man, I got several kids. I got a science experiment going on.
I know.
Yeah, and
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
so,
I'm teaching at a college tomorrow."
yeah, so like that's so that pretty much that's the point I'm trying to say. It's just like it's cool, like it's a nice little contrast because like from a fan's view, this is great. From like when you actually decide to delve deeper and look at it from like an adult perspective, it's pretty irresponsible.
Yeah.
Because and honestly too, like I'm pretty sure Zordon at some point, like he let those guys go at Turbo because he wanted them to live their lives.
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
That's true.
there's like I understand there's some cases like the Mega War where you have to come back or Dimensions in danger, but like when I read shit like, hey man, like that big intergalactic battle you had with us, it's like, did you really need Tommy to be there?
We'll find out when they
we
make
don't,
that
we don't know
issue.
how big this Rebel Run fight is. It's involved with some rebels. Who knows? Like maybe they had to
I don't know,
liberate
but
some kind of planet. I know what you're saying because
Yeah,
they have SPD. Yeah, that's a big organization right there. So I know it's just
Yeah.
it goes back to Tommy just being who he is. Like he's someone who
Yeah.
just doesn't want to sit back and watch. He wants to like help out as much as he can.
Oh,
can't
yeah,
mind-
exactly.
You're gonna be like 80 years old over here putting on the suit and be like, my
Yeah.
scapula whenever a putty
He's
pops
someone
up.
who literally fights to the very end.
Yeah,
like-
And,
this
and,
book,
like,
It goes back to who
Oh,
he was in Dino Thunder. Also, like he always kept
Yeah.
tabs and stuff too.
this
Yeah.
book solidified that he'll never be able to morph again because he lost
Yeah.
all his powers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
He might just put on a suit like Batman, to be honest.
Honestly, give him that power crystal. To be honest,
yo,
Tommy will find a way.
he
Yeah,
will.
he will find a way. But at this point, there's really no point in bringing back Tommy after the
Mhm.
story, like to further his
Yeah.
story. Let him.
Yeah.
He
let
got
him
his
live-
son, clearly.
Yeah.
He looks exactly the same. Look at the suit.
Oh my god.
You know what's also cool too? It's just like I was rewatching like SPD around the time that this came out, and I noticed something like very peculiar.
What's up?
So remember the second Down of Thunder team up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then remember how Kruger watched
he never-
everybody's
he never-
memory.
yeah. He didn't
He
watch
never
Tommy's.
watched Tommy's memory.
Yeah, because Tommy just disappeared.
And then also shout outs to Chip because he's the one who's still around for the mega battle, right? Like the Mega Force finale.
Yeah.
Boo.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so
Chip?
it-
Chiplin?
Yeah, Chip Lin.
Chiplin didn't do the Mega Force finale.
Which one? Whichever
John.
Lin was on.
Zacher.
That was John.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Zacher.
My fault. Yeah, my fault. So but yeah, shout outs.
Shut up, Tay. We're talking.
Yeah, but yeah, shout outs to like them low key like sneaking in, Master Morpher stuff like back then, because notice how when
It
Tommy
connects.
first showed up in the episode,
Yeah.
he had Saba, and then
Mhm.
at the end of the
He
episode,
was green.
he was green.
You are headcanoning that, sir.
Okay, but look at
You're reaching.
look at the order of the morphs though. Look at the order of
God.
the morphs.
Fine, Ro, I'll let you have it.
What do you mean? Look at the morphs.
The
Because he
order
went
of the
from
morphs.
white to green.
So,
Mhm.
so rating Soul of the Dragon, does it get like a 7.8 out of 10? Too much Tommy?
I'll give it an 8. I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because
No.
that ending like really like put it down a
Dear
few points
God.
for me. Like,
Yeah, the ending is kind of rushed.
if you took out that last page, I'd probably give it like a 9.5.
Are you telling me that
There's still some underwhelming parts. Like that final battle was still underwhelming, even though it was like pretty raw. Because I want to see like more fighting. Like I want to see Cat suit up instead of her holding some big ass gun.
Yeah, where her Zeo powers at?
Yeah, give her a master. Give her a master morpher.
you're telling me like Sentai 5, aka founder of the Tommy Oliver fan club, ain't giving this a 10 out of 10?
No.
How could
Goddamn.
dude? I have to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta be true to myself, man. Come on.
There's still some unanswered questions too, like who the hell made the Master Morpher? Like,
right, they never
little
said
tiny
that.
things like that.
Like it couldn't have been
Cat's
like
Zeo powers drowned in the Turbo movie.
So she lost it then and she killed Cassie to get her turbo powers back.
That would explain. Yeah, like I said, that would explain why she was turbo.
And also, dude, TJ's dead now. He
Chill out.
definitely killed TJ. Back.
Maybe.
Man, all right, now this comic getting like a 2 out of 10. All right,
Like there definitely could have been a lot of improvement for this, but it was still decent enough. It's still good enough for if you're a Tommy fan or if you're an MMPR fan. Definitely read this out because you want to see where Tommy ends up in the future. Because this is not a comic where you can just like, oh, it's just a comic, whatever. Like this is actual like Power Rangers story for the actual main universe.
Yeah.
So
it was nice world building. I just like slandering Tommy because it fucking pisses people off.
And they chose the right person to like do this too. Like Tommy, I mean not Tommy, Kyle and Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, JDF did have input on this, didn't
I think
Do we
special
get the
consultant
audiobook soon too?
I wish.
What
I
if
wish
he
it was audio.
actually narrates?
Dude, if he does, I'm gonna buy it. I would definitely buy it because I want to hear his voice in all these lines. Like that was like one like disappointment from the Shattered Grid panel at PMC was that like JDF was originally supposed to be Draken, but he couldn't make it in time because of his signing line.
He was literally.
I don't know what you just said.
No, I said he was literally in the other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was literally like right there.
Yeah, but Jason Fong did a pretty good job.
Oh, you niggas robot.
Tay's Megazording right now. Oh my god.
And on that note, Legion.